Good evening, everyone. This is Cheryl Villeneuve from Bella Vista Gardens Design Studios. And I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that I am alive. I am okay. Unfortunately, I do suffer from cluster migraines. I was diagnosed 8 years ago. First time I ever had one, it and it lasted 2 months. And it was a migraine that literally was there every single day and it just would not go away. And it was there for 2 months straight. Um, and it's kind of one of those things where they don't exactly know what causes them, but they are the worst kind of migraine to have because when you tend to get one, you tend to get one and they last a long time. So needless to say, 2 months ago, back in July, I started having a migraine and it just did not go away. It just kept going and going all day long, every single day. It's only been since Monday that my migraine has actually gone away. So if you're wondering where I've been, that's where I've been. I'm sorry, guys. I was just completely down and out. There was no way anything was going to be done with this lady. With that particular type of migraine. So I just wanted to let you know that's the reason why you haven't maybe seen or heard anything from me and why maybe I've all of a sudden just disappeared. I have actually just on my iPhone, just recording on my iPhone, just decided to go ahead and hit the record button. I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know the projects though that I have been working on just here and there. And I also wanted to go ahead and let you guys know something too, that I do have a new design team member that is designing along with me. And she is the going to be the jewelry artisan aspect of my business. And I've always, of course, talked about jewelry, talked about wanting to bring charms, wanting to bring so many things to the table with that. And I am so glad because she is so very talented. Has already pumped out quite an amount of work. And we've already sold quite a few of her pieces already, so which is outstanding. Which is amazing. Like I said, she's really good, and I can't wait to go ahead and start posting pictures of her jewelry because I think you guys are really gonna. I think you ladies are really gonna love her. She's really good. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and show you just exactly what I've been working on a little bit, kind of where I ended up and what I ended on. I was talking to you guys, if you remember, a few months ago or maybe a month ago about these boxes right here, okay? And why I'm doing them. And the reason why is because I have never done a public craft fair. I've always done private craft fairs because I am always a crafter for a cause. So I only craft when there's a cause for me to craft for, which is basically what is behind my whole studio's purpose. Is I am a community artist, so I do go out and network with the community, do network with what is going on, where I'm needed, maybe to draw into people if I'm needing to advocate, if I'm needing to do something, so on and so forth, volunteer-wise, whatever it may be. And so, but this is the first time I'm deciding with me and my partner that we've decided let's go and try a public craft fair. So this is my very first time, you guys, ever saying I'm going to, for my first time, go out and actually publicly craft fair. Because like I said, I've always done private, and always for some particular cause. Usually a health system will bring me in, will bring us craft fair people in. And there are many companies that during this time of the season that will also just hold craft fairs just for their employees only. Those are the type of craft fairs I'm used to entertaining. When you are entertaining that particular amount of people, and you're talking about 3,000, 5,000 people that may be coming and walking through the door at any point in time, so you're talking about a huge amount of people. there are times where you need to make just very, very quick items to make up for your certain prices. And when I particularly go to a craft fair and set it up, I like setting up some dollar items, some, $3 items, the $5, the so on and so forth, the going up. So I particularly always like doing gift bags. And I was just playing around. Literally, these are just playing around. These are just my templates. So these are not the actual gift bag. These are just the templates itself that I was playing around with. And I was using just my particular scrap pieces left over that I had in my stash. I have tons and tons of stash. It's just unbelievable. So I was figuring I need to get rid of my stash, right? So all of us paper crafters seem to kind of hoard or have our stash, right? So I was just going ahead and trying to look at different sizes and different type of ideas. And I've always put items in them. And I've always kind of, either they were treats, which are the most common thing. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, this is pretty common for these little type of boxes. Sometimes you'll put a treat in them. Like chocolate or whatever it may be, fill them full of candy, so on and so forth. Put a tag on it. And sometimes they'll be like little stocking stuffers. And you'll maybe put an item in it that would be related to something someone can put in a stocking. And if it's normally around Christmas time, then I'm, of course, crafting with Christmas type of themed paper. Or whatever the theme of what I'm going with is. And normally around Christmas time, it's normally the Christmas paper I'm crafting with. Hence why I don't care if I'm crafting and just for using my stash just for templates only. This is how I design. I first have to go ahead and make a template of something to see how it's going to look, if the measurements are correct, if it's going to work, if it looks okay. And from there, however, I then want to decide what paper I'm going to use to make with it, depending on what it is I'm going to be putting in here. Now, these are just made out of paper. I do some with chipboard if I'm putting, more heavier type of stock items in it. So it'll go by just depending on what items I'm putting in it. When you come to my design studio, you will find that things will be automatically in bags like this. It's very common. This is what I keep around. This is always how I have sold and put items that can fit into it that are for sale in my shop. This is always how I guess I've always branded. I've always put things in bags of my own that I've just designed with scrapbook paper. So it's not new. It's been around YouTube multiple times. YouTubers have definitely been doing this many, many times. So I've definitely got a lot of ideas and inspiration from a lot of, not any one particular YouTuber, but just many YouTubers gathered all together. Had given me inspiration on what you can put in these, what you can use them for, and different things like that, because my studio also is set up for planners. We do altered paper clips, we do embellishment boxes, we do fabric. These are fabric florals that I just finished and got done painting. I actually hand paint all of these florals myself. They're actually all hand painted. They are all actually handmade up. And normally I like to stick like a little pearl inside of it, or something, of course, obviously in the center, to make it a little beautiful, stand out. Sometimes I like to put it with a little bit of glitter on it. You may have seen my previous pictures that I did believe that I posted. So that's what I'm bringing, I guess, a little bit more to it. And I'm using all these different kind of templates because I'm trying to find the right templates for the right items that I am particularly making for this particular craft fair, so that we can have a good idea of how we can design them and, make them look very pretty. So that's what I've been up to, is just really designing a lot of different working with a lot of different bags, a lot of different boxes, figuring out what I can put in them, because I have these templates, and this is also what I've been working on, you guys, is before I came down with my headache, I was working on, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I do make my own, we do design our own journals here. So Bella Vista Gardens does have their own journals that we go ahead and design. They are normally around this particular size, okay? So they are normally around this particular size. This just happens to be my Bible journal, okay? This is my most favorite possession that I own, because everything is in it. Because this is literally, to me, my Bible journal. I literally do journal and art journal in it. So it's not your particular type of art journal where you're journaling art, let's say, in your Bible. This is an item that we particularly bake. And we have many different ones of these, okay, many different sayings on them, many different types of, and they are coded, so they are covered, so you don't have to worry about over time, this is just, paper that's on mine, and I don't care. I didn't decide to cover mine. I do just cover the ones that I sell. So I just go ahead and make all sorts of different things in here. This is literally where, I do my journaling, just my private time. These are where my prayers go. This is where my planner goes for any particular outing or particular thing that's going on at a church event that I'm going to. And I don't journal from the present. So I journal from the past. So it's more like something that I go back into the past day, because I can't journal ahead. I just can't do it. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, okay? More or less anything else. So, things come up in my line of business that are, just sometimes more important than another thing that you may have. This is the whole reason why I hate planners. I hate to plan and set the too much to-do list. Like I plan, I love planning, so on and so forth, just as much as I love journaling, and just as much as I love junk journaling. And junk journaling is just as cool and just as fun. So I like it all. So this is a template. I made this, designed this by myself. This is a specific template. There is, in between certain pages, now when we sell them here, they're obviously not going to look a little bit like this, because this was just my template that I used, but I just decided to take it over just to see how it worked. I decided to carry it with me to church just to see how it felt, just to see, did it work for me? Is it going to work for people if they buy it? What can they do with it? Is it the right size? So on and so, all those things. So it's like those things I try to do before I put anything out on the market. I have to test things out myself to see how I would use it, to even explain to people how they could use it. So I had to figure out how I was going to use it. And was it going to be particularly helpful for me? Was I going to find a necessity for it? Function for it? And I did find out that there was a lot of absolute beauty and function for it. Absolutely. In a lot of very, like I said, this is a Bible journal, so this is, of course, spiritually related. In any form. It can be spiritually related to anything. Your walk, you're not sure. Can be anything. It doesn't mean you've completely devoted yourself. You could be in the process of trying to figure that out, of whether or not, where are you spiritually. And I found that this is very helpful, because this has gone over a year now. Because I believe no, wait a minute, a little bit less than a year. And I've completely almost filled up this whole thing, because I had so much I found that I was putting in it. I was putting in, when I would go to prayer requests, for example, I decided I needed to have, like, you know, a tag, a little spot, to go ahead and put my you know, my prayer requests behind, because I do have a church that I go to that does a prayer service on Wednesdays. And what you do is you get a prayer card, and you get someone else's prayer, and that person put in a prayer request, and you are to go ahead and pray for them during that whole entire service. And what I do is I find that I would put it in this, and what I would do, you guys, is if it was something very heartfelt, which I believe every prayer really truly is very heartfelt. If it was very something specific that really hit my heart hard, I would go ahead and put it in this, and I would pray over that prayer every single day until I got the next prayer card, until the next following Wednesday. Then I'd get another one. And then I would do the same thing with that one. I would put it behind, and of course, then after I was done after that week, what I do is, of course, I'd shred them. But during that 1 week, I would hold that with me. I'd have that in my heart, in my soul, and on my mind. And I found just a lot of uses for this. Besides that, but that is in my Journey of Faith group, where this is going to become the most intricate part, is the actual devising of the journal itself and how to completely use it. Because Bible journaling itself, and journaling in this fashion, maybe, and doing artistry in this particular type of fashion, maybe it's a different avenue, because it's not our Bibles, or it's not our Bible studies. This is completely a little bit related, a little bit differently, and I will explain that more and get in more detail with that with my Journey in Faith group that I do have on Facebook, which you can go ahead and certainly put in a request to join. And I believe I'm going to start doing, and before I came down with my migraine, I did want to start doing tutorials on this, and on my Bible journaling group every Friday, because I thought Friday would be good if I released a video, because it would give you guys a weekend, and it would give you something to think about over the weekend, or something to do over the weekend, that might be a little time for you and the Lord, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes I just need 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes can make a difference to me, and all the difference in the world it may to you too. I find that we don't need to, I don't find myself, I guess, pressured over time. I don't find that I need to say, instead of, a high quote status of, I need to be into my Bible for 2 hours and studying every single day or whatever. I don't feel that kind of pressure. I think even 15, 20 minutes a day of just reading a scripture or being involved in something, or something relating to art itself, because remember, we are creating for the Creator. And that's basically, it's personal. It is between you and your relationship, and where your relationship is at. And it is something that spiritually we do develop over time. So it is something that if you're new to it, no matter how long you've maybe been spiritual, you may have never been introduced to anything like this. And this is just so much fun, you guys, and so I swear a stress reliever too. I just believe crafting in general is very much therapy. I get asked all the time. My number one question I get asked all the time is, why do you craft? Why do you do this? Sometimes, it's a complete waste of your time. I get told that over and over and over again. And I will tell you guys this. I craft because it's what I do. It's in my soul. It feeds my soul. I make people happy. And that's what feeds my soul. I bring happiness to people's day. Not all things do I sell, because sometimes the things that I make, I give. And I give away. And I give back in some way or another. And it makes someone smile. It makes someone's day brighter, better, more beautiful, more optimistic. Maybe a positive type of card I might have with me, and I see someone while I'm walking out or walking around, and they just look like they're having a bad day. I might go ahead and take out a note card. I might have that. May have a very positive message. We are here at Bella Vista Gardens all about very positive messages with children, and that is another thing. We do craft for kids as well. So we do make, jewelry items for kids. We do make craft boxes for kids. We do have crafts for kids. They can either go ahead and put a kit together themselves, or we just have activity packets for them. Something for them to go ahead and come and get and take. Halloween is very big and very important to me and my design team, especially because it tends to evolve around children. And what a wonderful time we do get to actually craft with children in mind. We have noticed kind of in our area that kids are kind of getting left out a little bit. They're not really being addressed. And I can tend to find that, going to the private craft fairs even, that little kids are dragged with their parents to these craft fairs. And I have always had little, the first year I didn't, because I didn't know what to expect. The second year I got a little bit better at it. So I realized that there were these kids being dragged to these craft fairs that were sitting around just bored, just, like, oh, okay. And there really wasn't any craft around that really had anything for these kids to, get interested in, or to even participate in, or that had anything for them to do, or to shop for, and I decided right then and there that that was not going to be our studio. That when I go out to craft, whether it be at a craft fair, whether it be private, public, or in my studio, that kids were going to be addressed. They were going to be a huge, at certain times of the year, a very huge priority for us. I'm so glad that I have a partner that absolutely feels the same way I do about that, and has noticed, been in the industry herself for a very, very long time, and we have noticed the same thing over and over and over again. And so when we got together, we decided to realize that this particular upcoming fall season, we really want to go ahead and also include, she definitely wanted to include children in on the jewelry that she made. She definitely wanted to go ahead and make little bracelets for little girls with very inspirational sayings on them. I completely, Halloween themed. However, we just decided we're not going to ignore kids. So, it's crafting sometimes is for kids. So that's why we always at our studio have now on stocked and made sure that we have stocked activity packets for kids, craft boxes for kids that we have spent over this past weekend putting together, that you can find locally at our studio. And you all know where our address is, where we're located. You got our hours. So go ahead. I'm glad to go ahead and share this time with you. Just to let you guys know I am okay, kind of what we're working on. I'm working on our wood signs and started that just yesterday. So I am a little bit behind, but I am trying to go ahead and hurry up and play catch up here. So I just want to go ahead and just give a shout out and let you guys know that I am okay. I've got a brand new team design member that's coming in. She is doing jewelry as well. So if you guys are into jewelry, go ahead. I'm going to start posting pics shortly. And we're also doing charms as well. So, and I just want to let you guys know about the kids thing, that we are starting to include kids in on our crafts. And before my migraine, I know what hit me really into my heart and into my soul was I really did want to throw a garden party for mothers and daughters, mothers and daughters of young girls this summer. That was kind of an important thing I wanted to do. It had been on me for a long time. To throw like a themed party for a mother and daughter day, just where you could sit and make something and take it to go and just be around other mothers, other daughters, be able to have professional pictures taken if you wanted to with photo props, because I do make backdrops and photo props as well, so for a lot of photographers. So because flowers are my number one thing that I'm really, really good at, is paper florals and fabric florals. And I can make them very big or very small, or as big as I want to make them. And it's kind of becoming a really huge thing to have the florals. And so I do go ahead and do that for photographers, as well as I also do that for crafters where they want to go ahead, and when they are out publicly at a craft fair, they do want some kind of design or some kind of different kind of setup. And sometimes they'll want a backdrop. So now we've got crafters going into, hey, you need to really up your game a little bit. You need to have some kind of something else going on a little bit at your booth to really, attract people in. So, you want to bring in those people. And so you're going to need to up your game a little bit. And I always had a prop. So, I always had props. And that's just how I did it. And I never had a problem selling anything. So I didn't walk out, let's say, of a private fair with too much stuff. It went in and I didn't take a lot out. And that's good. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's how I gained my customers over the past couple of years. So that being said, I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a shout out, just let you know, I'm trying to keep these videos very quick. I know you guys don't want to watch a long video, but that is just what I wanted to go ahead and bring to the table. This video is just for my Facebook group, guys, and for any maybe family or friends that were wondering what were happening to me or what was going on. That's what was going on. This is what I've kind of been up to in the meantime, though. When I could focus on something, and I would have to try really hard. So that was the problem, is I'd try so hard, and I'd have to try so hard just to focus. So putting these together was really difficult for me, and normally this would be the most easiest thing for me, and boom, quick, done, It wasn't like that, and that's why I said it just really got in the way, and I am so very sorry, and I apologize, and I thank you guys all tremendously for your patience and tremendously for your support. I hope you guys do keep us, around in mind that we are here, and during our fall and winter is when our store is the most open. Fall is my most favorite time of year, you guys. It is also my most favorite crafting time of year. So it's really something that really, the leaves, the pumpkin spice, just all of that ambience, the lighting, the candles, all of that, all of that is just so very important to me. Fireplaces, sitting next with your sweetheart, maybe on the couch, snuggling up in a blanket together, maybe watching a movie, with the fireplace going and watching the ambience of the fireplace going. I just love this time of year. And my husband is a huge Vikings fan. So, which means I end up making a lot of football banners. I actually, downstairs is where my husband actually watches most of his games. Well, he used to watch most of his football games down here until we started doing reconstruction and remodeling here in the basement. So it's kind of been torn apart. We are slowly working on, as best as we can, getting it together here and there. Of course, when we have time. My husband is also self-employed and he is a painter, so he does have that business as well. So it keeps us pretty busy, let's just say, you guys. But I do like to go ahead and love to decorate the mantle. And I do, if you ladies have any football loving fans, whether it be you ladies or someone in your life or a friend, a coworker, whatever, I am always trying to go ahead and find something new every single year to add to my collection of football themed items that I make specifically just for gals to go ahead and give to their honeys, whether it be a man cave type of deal with a football on it or whatever it may say. I love those things. I love to do that for my husband. I love to decorate the mantle and to decorate it not only just for fall, but every Sunday. I love to decorate it and trade it up and just trade it in for a banner, whether it be fall or whether it be a wood sign that is by the fireplace that has something to do with football themed and football saying, whatever. I love it. And I love to go ahead and do that for my husband every single time of the year. Around this time is where I start designing my football themed for my huge football fans, just because my husband is such a football fanatic. And as a DIYer and as, a home decor crafter, it's really hard not to pay attention to that, so, and to make it feel a little bit more manly for him, I guess, get him in a little bit more into the spirit sometimes, because sometimes he's watching it by himself. I can honestly say I'm not a huge football fan. I'm not a huge football watcher. But sometimes in, the fall, like I said, sometimes I will like to snuggle up with my husband on the couch, maybe catch the game with him a little bit later on, and I'm there more for the fireplace than the game, which is, but anyway, just to go ahead and let you guys know, I will go ahead and start posting the stuff that we are going to be selling as soon as all of that comes out. Keep in mind, I am going to be on YouTube. I also have a YouTube challenge coming up that I took on. I will be telling you guys about that tomorrow. So go ahead and catch tomorrow's video. I'll go ahead and check with you guys later. And everyone have a good evening. And thank you guys so much for your support. We love it. And we love and appreciate all your support and all your feedback. Any comments you have. If you have any comments or any feedback about, if you have children, any crafts that you would be particularly interested in or thinking that you and your child would like to participate in, go ahead, drop us a line, give us some advice, give us some feedback. What do you think? What would you like to see? What would you like to see out there for your kids? What do you think is kind of missing a little bit into that? When you're just going out shopping, what do you think is kind of, going out shopping, even to a craft store, what do you think is kind of missing there for kids? So I know, I notice that we don't tend to, us real serious crafters don't tend to bring anyone with us shopping because we'll be there for like 5 hours. Those poor kids. Anyways, go ahead. We'd appreciate any feedback you can give us. We truly are looking for feedback on that. And that's why I wanted to go ahead and post this video and put that out there. We are seriously looking for feedback on anything you guys have to give us as far as what are you guys particularly looking for. That maybe we could go ahead and maybe inspire us to go ahead and maybe provide that for you guys. We also do custom orders. So that is something you can always go ahead and drop me a line through, and I will go ahead and respond to that. Bye-bye, guys. I'm calling it a night, and good night, everyone, and thank you again for your support. Love you, ladies. Bye.